What's going on, everybody? The Original Mako back with our either second to last or last video of the year. It is our top 5 video games that I played this year. Now, this doesn't mean the game came out this year. This means these are the top 5 games that I participated in playing this year. So any game I played, whether I'd played it before, played it like before this year, played it just this year, played it whatever, any game that I have touched my grubby little fingers on this year, those are all considered for this list. So, should be an exciting list. Thank you guys so much for all the support throughout the year. As always, I really do appreciate it. Be sure to check the links down below if you want to see me play live any of these fun games or a bunch of the new games we're going to play next year. If you want to see me do it live, check out the Twitch channel. I would really, really appreciate it. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. There's a ton. I can't do this. There's a ton of content coming your way for 2024. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into the list. Now, getting into the list here, there weren't a ton of options this year, if I'm being honest with you. I think I played less than 30 games all year total, and a good chunk of those games for probably an hour or less, which is obviously like not very much, right? So we're going to get into these, and it's a pretty interesting list, so let's just talk about it. Number 5, my 5th favorite game I played this year is Valorant. Yes, the competitive first-person shooter Valorant. A lot of you may know this, some of you may not know this. I have an issue with how competitive I am. It's genuinely a problem in some scenarios. And the main reason Valorant's even on this list is just because of it scratches that competitive itch for me. I've got a lot of friends that I enjoy talking to and playing with that I get to play this game with, which makes it even more fun. But the main thing is that it's able to scratch that itch for me. So when I start getting a little too itchy, I can go ahead and scratch it with a little bit of Valorant to I wouldn't say quell my competitive thirst, because there is no quelling it, but to at least help out a little bit. So that's why I've got Valorant at number 5. And once again, having that crew that if you've watched my streams on Valorant, you'll know the crew I'm talking about, the Valorant crew. They're a lot of fun, and I love those guys and playing with them. So that's why I've got it at number 5. At number 4, Astral Ascent, a game that I made a few videos on for the channel, played a decent bit on stream, and just a game that I had a lot of fun with throughout the year. I'm not typically a big fan of platforming roguelikes. Like, that's not really my go-to, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it had a unique concept with all of the different, star signs being the bosses, and you're trying to escape this. I mean, that's pretty classic, trying to escape this like purgatory thing. But I thought the abilities were cool. The concept was cool. The unique twists that they put on the Astral Ascent game was cool. The art style was great. The bosses had really fun intros, and I thought all had very fun fights as well. So I think Astral Ascent was a game that I thoroughly enjoyed this year, and I wish I would have made a little more content on for the channel, but I also know it's a lot different than some of the stuff you guys watch, so I'm not too upset about it, but I will say that it was just a lot of fun, really cool game, and I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of platforming roguelikes. But if you like roguelikes in general, check it out. But if you like the platforming ones, for sure, give this one a try. Next up, number 3 on the list. This is one that was a beginning of the year storm, and then kind of fell off a little bit, but still had a lot of people talking by the end of the year. That is HighFi Rush, a action rhythm game, fighting combos, rhythm, all that kind of shit. And it was a ton of fun. I think the art, the soundtrack, the concept, it was all really, really well done, and they incorporated a lot of different, there were some platforming sections, there was a ton of stuff in that game, and had a little bit of something for everybody, honestly. So it's been a while. I think I finished playing the game in like March-ish, around March-ish, So it was very early in the year, but left a lasting impression, and I think definitely deserves to be in the top 5 with how unique of a concept it was and how enjoyable of a game it was to just sit down and play. Next up, we have number 2, and this one's interesting, Coral Island. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a big, every time there's a new Stardew Valley update, I'll have a Stardew Valley kick where I'll play for 100 hours with Bill on a world and we'll enjoy it and then stop until the next major update that changes something and then start fresh. Coral Island came in and just, it was, I've played a couple other Stardew Valley-like games, farming sims. I'll just say farming sims, but Stardew Valley is the premier farming simulator, so everything gets compared to that. But Coral Island came in and blew me away. The gameplay loop was the exact same as Stardew Valley, but it was a 3-dimensional, bigger world. It had so many more characters. It had an extra 2 or 3 extra major parts of the game where you're restoring the museum, and you're doing some diving underwater to help out this group of people, the merfolks that are underwater. And it was just it's such a fun game to play. And I've been waiting. I've had so many itches to play this game, but I'm trying to wait till multiplayer comes out because I know I want to go through a world with Bill like we usually do with a farming simulator, but multiplayer is not out yet. So I'm kind of waiting for that to come out to go on a big kick. It'll be interesting, though, because I know Stardew Valley has an update coming at some point. It's been teased, and I know when that update drops, we're going to spam Stardew, so I just hope multiplayer for Coral Island is a little bit after that, a little bit delayed, so that way we can kind of get our fill from Stardew and then have a nice break and then come back to that style of game with Coral Island, because I think that game has an unbelievable amount of potential and could be one of the most fun games that I play next year if and when multiplayer comes out next year. Number 1 on this list, probably to no surprise if you've watched the streams, is going to go to Destiny 2. Destiny's a franchise that, other than Call of Duty, it's the franchise I've put the most time into by far. Destiny 1 has a very, very, very special place in my heart in terms of games. And a little bit of that spirit kind of came back at the end of this year, because usually whenever I would have a Destiny kick, it would be just me playing or me and Bill at the most. And that would be it, just 2 of us. So the fact that at the end of this year, one of my really good friends started playing again, and one of his friends that I know pretty well, that I'd say I'm friends with at this point, started playing as well. Now we have a solid 4 stack of people, and even a 5th one that occasionally plays as well. So we have almost an entire raid group, which is insane, and it's something that I haven't had since Destiny 1. So that feeling of why I enjoyed Destiny 1 so much wasn't really there, but it started to kind of come back now because of the fact that we're doing raids every week. We are, doing these dungeons. We're exotic missions, all this stuff. We're doing Grandmaster Nightfalls. All of this stuff that I couldn't do before, I'm able to do now. Well, I could do before, but it would have been with randoms, which is nowhere near as fun as playing with friends. So that was a fantastic experience. It's been so much fun playing recently, and I'm really glad that I've sort of gotten back into it, since it was one of my favorite games of all time. And then Destiny 2 just kind of fell off because nobody was really playing anymore. But now it kind of feels like that spirit is back. And going into the final shape next year, I'm very excited. It can't be, it's not a coincidence. Final shape is dropping on my birthday. So that shit is going to slap. I know it is. But there we have it, everybody. Those were my top 5 games this year: Valorant, Astral Ascent, HighFi Rush, Coral Island, and Destiny 2. I think it was a fun year for games, even though I tried significantly less than usual. I'm hoping to try more next year. definitely excited to see what kind of stuff comes out and what kind of things I'll be talking about at the end of 2024. It's always a surprise to see what my top 5 is at the end of the year. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know some of your favorite games that you played this year and what you're looking forward to for next year. So thank you all. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your 2023. And if this came after the anime top 5, then I will see you all in 2024. If not, I'll see you for the anime video. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you all then.